Going to the game, I'm going to be playing Soul Fighter Xin Zhao, which is one of his latest skins. In this matchup, we're currently up against Aatrox, and in a Xin Zhao versus Aatrox, this is pretty much even, but a bit of an advantage for Xin Zhao when it comes to the early game due to having better ganks. The only difference about these two champions is that Xin Zhao is a bit more defensive and the tanky side where he can peel for his team and provide crowd control, while Aatrox is more on the offensive side where he needs to get a kill as soon as possible so that he could get a reset and possibly carry the fight. That's why it's up to the jungler on who's able to utilize their strength more. The clear that I'm doing is a red side clear where I go for Krugs, Red, Raptors, and Flex depending on what happens on the map. With Xin Zhao, you could even go for a red start if you'd want to go for a cheeky level 2 gank. But looking at the laners, we have Corki mid plus Karma Ezreal bottom. Not much CC, so it's not worth it doing a level 2 cheese gank. But if there's a very aggressive opponent, this is something that you could possibly do. When clearing with Xin Zhao, you always want to use your E when available. Not only gives you damage, it also has attack speed. And when using your first skill, you always want to use an auto attack so that you could get an auto attack animation cancel. Good job on our bottom lane, getting a kill, which is huge because I'm not pathing there. And when you play this champion, you'd always want to look for a lane to gank because early game ganks is Xin Zhao's specialty. Mid lane is kinda hard, Kassadin's playing safe, but top lane is in prime position for me to go for since Volibear is winning the lane and having a pushing lane. I immediately go around. What I do here is I immediately block the creeps so that the cannon will go inside the tower and we could go for a dive. The Sion does a good play, prevents the creeps from going to the tower so I cannot get a good gank, but with Volibear having the advantage, he gets the kill, so I still get a successful gank overall. I just don't get any gold. At least we get our Baron lane ahead and give him a kill. We go back to our own camps, start our clear. Another good thing about Xin Zhao's first skill is that you'd always want to use your third and second skill before using your first skill. That way, your first skill will reduce the cooldown of your second and third skill. Even your ultimate. So you always want to use your ultimate as much as possible since spamming your first would reduce the cooldown of this skill. After clearing the wolves, I'm looking for another lane to gank. Mid lane is very hard unless Kassadin is pretty low. So what I'm looking at is going for another gank at the top side. Bot lane is also hard to gank with no CC, Karma Ez, unless they're pretty low. Since Sion showed up late, I just went back. I don't want to waste time. And the first item I'm going for is Ghostblade. We want to utilize our ganking prowess plus early game damage. That's why we go for this item, giving us even more burst and mobility to go around the map. Volibear does a good job getting the Aatrox in a 2v1 situation, and with their jungler down, I see that their bot is quite low, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to gank. With no jungler available, we could go for this. Even though it's warded, I just want to wait for the creeps or my teammates to get into position. We have a control ward. Jhin sees me, but I hit them with my second skill. Immediately go in with my third skill, get a kill onto the Lux. The Aatrox shows up, but he's too late. We're able to get the kills that we need. We even get another kill onto their jungler. Our bot lane is playing really well, and we also get blades. So this is a win-win-win situation for everyone, and this goes to show the damage and ganking prowess of Xin Zhao early game, which is what you want to do when you play this champion. Usually when you play ganking junglers, you'd always want to get at least one kill before the first objective because this will allow you to get your items faster and have an impact early on. With the opponents, in solo queue, they always play greedy, or if you have winning lanes, Xin Zhao is a perfect answer to that, wherein he could gank a lane or even tower dive. Corki has an advantage mid. I'm just covering for him just in case someone arrives. And lo and behold, Aatrox is there. And look at the burst that I'm dealing. Aatrox can't do much. We out-damage him with all of the items that we have. We don't even have Ghostblade yet. Good job on Corki dodging the Lux ulti. And we get even more plates mid-side. With the objective spawning soon, I go back, buy my Ghostblade. Almost got cancelled. We have our Ghostblade plus boots. which would allow us to go around the map faster. Volibear getting another kill topside, Kassadin getting a counter kill. Still huge lead for us, and we should be able to secure this objective since all of our 4 members are up, plus we have package. Most likely what the opponents will do here is they'll just go for a trade, seeing that their Kassadin is topside, getting some gold plus plates for their team. I decide to not contest Herald because I know I'll be too late, so we go for the dive instead, and bam! We burst Jin in one combo. Usually the combo that you want to go for Xin Zhao is 3rd skill, 2nd skill, then auto first, and you can just add ulti in between those attacks. But if you're having a hard time reaching your opponent, you could go for a 2nd skill and tag them with the 2nd and then immediately charge with the 3rd. Corki tries to contest the Rift Herald, not sure why because I wasn't there. So we just go back, buy our dynamic boots, further increasing our burst damage. The opponents try to get tower mid, but I can reach, go in with the 2nd skill, 3rd skill, 2nd skill, and look at that! We burst Aatrox in one combo, Kassadin pretty low, flashing in to get another kill. Even though we lose the tower, we get 2 kills in exchange, and possible plates mid-side. Lux is there to cover, so it's quite hard to go for a push, but overall, I'll take the trade. We get first tower bot, we get the dragon, plus we get additional kills. With everyone farming right now, I just want to clear my camps before doing anything else. Of course, as much as you want to always gank, you have to be smart also. And don't forget to clear your camps. The only time I won't clear my camps is if there's always a lane that I could go for a gank. But looking at the map, there's nothing much that could happen. That's why I went for a clear. Volibear is getting ganked again topside, but it should be fine because we're able to get a lot of gold. I just want to farm my camps before doing anything else. After taking the red buff and Raptors, we could go for another gank, either mid or top. Scuttle is spawning bot, we could also take this, and at this point, no one should be able to win against us when it comes to the 1v1. Not only do we have a lot of burst, we also have ultimate to protect us from ranged attacks, and crowd control to knock up the opponents. With the opponents playing very safe, I just go back to my camps. Our clear is much faster since we have the Ghost Blade for the additional clear speed. With all of the camps gone, I just go back. I could either go for a stasis, but usually I'd always want to complete 2 items before getting my stasis enchant. Sion showing topside, and with all of my camps gone, now I can focus on ganking. I think Sion sacrificed himself to try and get the tower, so we just get the kill. 250 gold, not bad, and we can even get a possible trade on the top side. Knowing that there's a fight mid, with all of our move speed, we go and help. If we are able to tag someone with the 2nd skill or 3rd skill, we should be able to burst them in one combo. I look for some Raptors. Now I want to play aggressive. Look for people that are out of position. Lux in the mid lane by herself. We could go for a possible mid lane tower dive. 2nd skill, she's able to dodge it, so I have to go back. I get silenced plus slowed. Aatrox also had to flash. A bit greedy for us. I should have flashed earlier. I didn't respect the Kassadin that much. But they used a lot of spells in order to get me. We got a shutdown, unlucky, but overall, we got top tower, we got mid tower. It should be fine. As long as I don't throw more. The only problem right now is that they have good scaling, especially with the Kassadin. We don't want him to get gold. Looking at his gold, he has 7.3k, which is the same as our carries. Ez has the most gold in our team. We just need to be wary of not throwing our lead. Before the dragon spawns, I go back to farm my camps. I want to have at least Black Cleaver on the 2nd objective, and having this ready, clearing my camps, go back, get the item, and then contest the dragon. Ezreal and Volibear trying to do something mid lane. They have to be careful because if they die before the objective, it's gonna be way harder for us. And when you're up against Kassadin, you'd always want to stack the dragons so that you can fight this champion when it comes to the late game. Sion uses ulti, Corki gets bursted by this Kassadin, so I immediately go bot side. We can help the Kas, or the Corki rather. punish the Kassadin. He gets a kill. We get a trade. And this should be Dragon for us. Because if you look at the positioning of the Sion, he is at the top side and he just wants to get a trade. He could probably get our top tower and get some bounty gold since the objective bounty is now activated. I look to see if I can burst someone. We dodge the Jhin trap. And look what happens. I miss my second skill, third skill, ulti, and we just burst him in one combo. Even though my second skill didn't hit, it just goes to show how strong our damage is. I almost die because of it. Good thing that there's no one else there. Lux didn't ulti, and we are safe. We go back to farm. We have lifesteal on our passive. Ezreal plays a bit greedy. Kassadin gets another shutdown, which is not good because he's able to farm freely. I get my stasis so that I can buy time. I'm a bit squishy, and getting this item would not only allow me to buy time with my ulti, I also have my stasis plus flash if needed. With all of the team fights done, I look for another gank. Corki is already waiting at the bot side. Sion shows up. Good ward by the opponents, and Sion decides to YOLO the tower again. Typical Sion behavior. Even though he's able to get the tower, we should be able to get a kill. But overall, I think it's a bit favorable for them because they get bounty gold. They decide to help. We dodge Jin's ulti. We burst the Aatrox down. Look how much damage we're dealing. Volibear decides to go in. I go in with my third skill. 339 crit. Lux is out of position. Volibear's chasing her down. We should be able to get this. Kassadin tries to burst me, but I have my own damage. I buy stasis, or use it, and dodge the Kassadin by using my own flash, and we get another ace. Corki wasn't even there. I think it was just a 3v5, and we just clean up just like that. We get our item. The next item that I'm going for is Sunder, so that not only will we get some damage, we will also get some sustain, plus durability from the stats that this gives. Worst case scenario, you could also go for Amaranths or even Sterak's Gauge. But for this game, Sunder is pretty good because they have high HP targets like Aatrox and Sion. What I'm doing right now is we're looking to bait someone, but since no one is there, we just take the Scuttle. I have my control ward to remove their wards, and then we could possibly go for a catch onto the opponent. Seeing that their Kassadin is bot side, and I know that they have a ward there, it's quite risky to go and start the Baron, so we go around, look for someone to catch. As soon as they're out of position, Lux is here. She gets a snare. We have our third skill to chase her down, but the snare takes so long with Jin's own second skill. Go in, separate the team, get a kill onto the Aatrox. Sion gets a good knock-up. We look to burst, but so much crowd control. Jhin gets another snare onto us, and that's the only problem with our build since we have no tenacity. I think I went for the Alacrity rune here, and that's one instance where we get punished. If we went for the tenacity rune, we could have lived or done more in that team fight. That's why you could switch rune depending on what the opponents have. If they have a lot of crowd control, then you could go for the tenacity. But if you want to focus more on damage, you could go for the Alacrity. Next item I'm going for is Guardian Angel, because at this time I need to build more defensive since I already have a lot of damage. Kassadin's also getting strong. Jin's also getting his items, and this is the time where I need to become a bit more tanky. My ultimate is not enough to counter Kassadin's burst, since he is melee and he can just jump in, burst me down. Baron is up in 25 seconds, so I want to utilize it's Dragon rather. I think this is the third Dragon, that's why I really want to get this objective, but with my teammates not in position, I'm afraid to wait for someone to go there since we have zero vision on where the opponents are. I wait for my teammate before doing anything. I'm quite squishy and I don't want to waste any of my precious HP in order to get the objective, but once Kassadin shows up top, I know this is going to be free. The only thing I need to be worried about is a potential steal from Lux ulti, and we're able to safely secure it and get the triple dragon, which is very good Getting Mountain is huge against Kassadin, giving us resistances against their composition. We hit our second skill. I play a bit greedy, flash in. I get snared. I could have bursted the Jhin if I didn't get snared. But overall, we're still dealing a lot of damage. We have our ultimate to mitigate all of the ranged poke that they have. Aatrox gets a kill. I have my Zhonya to buy time. Volibear diving into the backline. I follow up with my own third skill. And look at the cooldown of my skills. Pretty low. I'm just spamming them again and again. Our Baron lane dies, but overall, we still win the fight. Kassadin's the only one not present. My lifesteal is quite high, 422, if you saw that. Have to play a bit respectful. And in order to catch the Kassadin, what I do is I stack my first skill twice, so that when Kassadin goes in, my next auto attack will immediately knock him up. And if I'm not mistaken, Kassadin has no Rod of Ages. That's why he's a bit squishier than the usual Kassadin build. Yep, he went for Seraphs, Riftmaker Rabadon. He hurts a lot, but if we're able to get him low or damage this champion, he should be quite easy to burst. With 2 inhibitors down, we just take the red buff. Kassadin, very low. Want to take the Raptors, but look at that damage. He halves us in one combo. So I have no choice but to go back. I play a bit safe. My team is playing greedy. We poke the Lux, go in the third skill, ultimate. Our backline access is free. We take down their support or mid laner. Jin's the only one left. He's able to flash away. He has Ghost, so we leave him be. And we go back and help our team. Aatrox uses Stasis. We should be dead in one more hit and we get another kill. Jhin is the only one left. Oh, it's actually support Lux. But we can just end the game right here. Jhin won't be able to do anything with 2 lanes pushing. Plus, we have a full HP Ezreal and Karma. Damage check. We burst him down in one combo. With Volibear's ultimate, the Nexus can't do anything, and we just end the game from there. Pretty clean game overall. A bit of a scare with Kassadin getting a lot of shutdowns plus a lot of kills. That's why we just needed to play safe, look for the potential kills, and win the game. 98% Xin Zhao. We even get Diamond 1. Volibear gets MVP. He did a lot of tanking, but overall, we're able to show how strong Xin Zhao is. 35k damage. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed our Xin Zhao tutorial, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao.